Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing another reading vlog. Before I get started, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Stephanie and I do a lot of bookish content. Today's gonna be interesting. Also, I look like a fucking mess, so just ignore that. I am so tired. I got home so late last night. It wasn't even that late, but then like I have like my nightly routine, and by the time that was all done, it was like very late. I was also just so tired. Like my whole body hurts. I went golfing yesterday, so my back hurts, my entire lower back, like especially on this side because I'm a righty. So every time I'm twisting this side. Oh my god, it hurts so much. My legs hurt, like everything just kind of like aches right now. So I'm like a hot mess. But I did want to do this vlog regardless of how I look because I want to talk about this book. So we are going to be reading this book today. This month my friend and I are actually doing 2 reading days just because we skipped the past like 2 or 3 months just because we've been really busy. So we're going to try reading this book today. That's the whole purpose of the video. And all I know is that it says, death is calling. After receiving a strange summons, 18-year-old nursing student Molly finds herself the private live-in nurse for a wealthy young man at his haunting Hudson Valley mansion. But after arriving, she realizes that her handsome employer is not what he seems. Most surprising of all is what, or rather who, rests deep inside the mansion walls. Nin, a young man about Molly's age, at least in appearance, is a prisoner of the estate, locked behind magical barriers. Nin is royalty, the son of death himself. He is not human, not of this world, not like anyone Molly has ever met. She should stay away from him. Nin is a terrifying yet strangely attractive being, and soon both of them find themselves drawn to each other. But as the two become entangled in a forbidden affair, outside forces start to press in because Death is looking for his son and he's not the only one. So obviously it's like a love romance between a girl and Death's son. Very curious to see how this goes. This is also by Jenn Bennett. It's called The Prince of Mourning, and it comes out in October. So that's the point of the video today. We're trying to like get through some of these ALA arcs so we can actually read these before they come out, and I can let you guys know how they are before they come out as well, like my personal opinion. I'm going to do another clip like I did last time where I'm going to do like the non-spoiler review once I actually read this book, and then we'll jump into the actual reading vlog where we go into the spoiler side, because when we talk about it we're going to go like very deep in depth. So be warned, because that's just kind of how we talk about the book, and that's also why they end up being kind of long, because they're more like a discussion based vlog where we just talk about like our thoughts about it, and they kind of like jumps back and forth. So it's a little bit long and a little bit rambly, but I feel like it gives the best impression of our thoughts while reading it, and it's like very like live thoughts, you know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna do for this book. And in the meantime, if we do end up DNFing it for whatever reason, I do have 2 backups. One is one I'm currently reading. It's called Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. I am almost done, as you can tell by my bookmark. So I'm going to obviously finish this first as soon as I'm done with The Prince of Mourning. So I'm going to do that for sure. Afterward, I want to finish it because I feel like I've been reading that for that last like 2 week and a half. Very good though. Like it did start off a little bit slow. I mean, it started off really strong in the first like couple chapters. Again, I really say couple chapters because once I hit like chapter 3 or 4, I think it slowed down dramatically until I got to the part where they got to the academy. And then even then, in the beginning, it was a little bit slow, but now it's getting good. Like I'm very curious. I'm very curious about like everything that's happening right now. I might do a separate book review on that book, so look forward to that. I haven't really decided yet. And then my other backup is Hera by Jennifer Saint. This is a book that has been on my TBR for a while now, and I want to read this for the month of August. So I'm going to hope to read this and finish it before end of day today. But yeah, those are the 3 books I'm going to bring with me to my friend's place. I'll be very happy if I finish Arcana Academy and Prince of Mourning, and I'll be extra happy if I get to like at least half of Hera. Like that's my goal. My cat wants to say hello. This is little Tofu. He's so cute. He's very like needy right now because I've been gone all day to do the reading vlog. But as you can guess, this is future Steph. I want to do this quick little summary of the book and my non-spoilery thoughts before I continue on the rest of my night, because I already read more books, so I'm going to forget about this book soon if I don't talk about it quickly. So Prince of Mourning essentially follows a girl, her name is Molly, who is a nurse in training, and she has always been able to see ghosts for whatever reason. And one day, because of her nurse duties, she ends up getting invited to a secluded mansion. What? I'm telling you, he's so needy right now. she ends up getting invited to a secluded mansion to take care of the master who has been diagnosed with tuberculosis. And the reason why she was chosen because her own mother had passed away from tuberculosis, so she is more familiar with this disease and how to treat it and the symptoms and all of that. So she ends up going there, but shortly after, or before she even gets there, she's already suspecting that something is not as they seem. Once she arrives though, she finds out that a lot of stuff are not as they seem, and she ends up meeting a boy who seems to be trapped there. His name is Nin, who is the Prince of Mourning. None of this is spoilers, by the way, because it is found in the synopsis of this book. And obviously as things kind of progresses, she finds out more about how he is trapped, why he's trapped, how, like, what is going on with the master of the mansion, what's going on with the house, like all the housekeepers, servants, etc. And of course this is a romantasy at the end of the day, so there is romance in here. So that's a quick summary of this book. Sorry, I'm gonna hold him for the rest of this because he's just so needy. Personally, non-spoilers, I did not like this book. It started off okay. I never once hated the book or anything like that. I just felt like it was very mid, and as the book kind of progressed, I did feel like the romance was not hitting it for me. What really pissed me off was the ending, actually, because the ending was so unsatisfying. It just kind of left things, like, I hate when endings are kind of like in the air, like, oh, it could happen but not really, and it's in the future, and like the kind of like vague type of endings. I hate those endings. Like, it's not necessarily a cliffhanger per se, it just doesn't go into detail about like what actually happens at the end of the story, and I felt like it was such a cop-out. I also felt like parts of the book was predictable, particularly with one certain character. I'm not going to go into who that character is, but that person's like thing I totally was predicting from like 1,000 miles away. Other parts of the book were completely unpredictable, not because I couldn't predict it, but because there weren't a lot of hints about what was going to happen, and it kind of felt like it was one of those incidents where it was like out of the blue, this like situation or character is like suddenly drawn in and you're just like, oh, like that's what's going on. I don't like those type of solutions because I feel like those are cop-outs as well. Like, those are like, that's the same with like mysteries where there's like an ending and we find like the culprit or who's like the murderer or whoever, like the murderer, and it turns out to be this like neighbor of a neighbor of a neighbor that you saw like maybe a flash of, like he was mentioned or he or she was mentioned like in chapter 2, and after that nothing, and then suddenly it's that person. Like, why would you ever deduce that? Like, I feel like that plot twist at the end was similar to that, where I was just like, I don't know where this came from. My friend said that she did see a clue prior, but I personally did not see anything, so I don't know. I just felt like I didn't like the ending, I didn't like the romance. I never really felt that yearning between the two of them, and it was a little weird with the writing about how the author kept referring to the Prince of Mourning as a boy, but in reality he wasn't. So my friend kept thinking like there was some weird age gap going on, and that wasn't the case. So like, there's definitely like things about this book that I didn't really love, unfortunately. That being said though, like, I still liked her previous like YA contemporary romances. I've read those. I've read like Serious Moonlight, I enjoyed that one. I think I read Alex Approximately, and I also read another one from her as well called Starry Eyes. I've enjoyed those. They were all like 3 or 4 star reads. This one unfortunately is a 2-star. I just felt like the fantasy element of it too, like the whole backstory of the prince and his family, I personally felt like it wasn't really fleshed out, and there was still a lot to be, you know, desired. And there were also backstory about the prince's mom, for example. I'm not gonna go into it because spoilers, but it was kind of just there as like an add-on, and my friend was just like, what was the point of all of that? So yeah, not the biggest fan of this book, unfortunately. I'm really hoping for a more positive review for these books, because we're like 2 out of 2 for these ALA haul that we got, and we have not really enjoyed any of them. Like the other one, Maiden and Her Monster, which I did a whole other video, I'll link that above and down below. I enjoyed that from the beginning, and the end was kind of like more mediocre, so I still ended up giving that 3 stars, but I still enjoyed like the journey of the book. This one, I felt like the journey was just mid overall, and the ending was so unsatisfying that at the end, 2-star read. But yeah, let's just go back into the actual reading vlog where you hear our thoughts throughout the book. Hopefully we don't chat too much in this video, but yeah, we were, that's all I can say for now. All right, so we just finished the first 45-minute sprint of our reading. I got to page 120.
That's page 121.
So we're basically the same. What are your thoughts so far?
I'm kind of indifferent about this book so far. I'm not like excited to figure out like what's happening and who this, like, to get the details on who this boy in the basement is. Voss, every time he comes up, I think I'm feeling like he's supposed to be younger, like maybe like late 20s, early 30s, but I'm picturing like an old man.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I'm not really drawn to any of the characters right now, which is going to be hard for me, I think, because usually I really like rooting for the main characters. So if I don't feel that, I might have trouble with the rest of the book.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say I'm pretty much aligned with your thoughts. I think like it's very mid right now. Like I'm not like loving it, I'm not hating it. There isn't really anything that's like drawing me in per se, except for the fact that like where is this boy, like where did he come from, why is he locked up? And I kind of want to just know like how that happens. But also I'm pretty sure the reason why he is the Prince of Mourning is because he only shows up when someone's like mourning for a loss. So, but I'm also curious to know like why she hasn't seen him more often, considering she works at a hospital. And I'm sure like people die all the time. Like people are probably like screaming and mourning and whatever.
I was kind of under the impression that when she mentioned the black room at first, it wasn't a boy.
No, I think she mentioned it was a boy.
In the beginning?
Yeah. I feel like she said like, oh, the boy like appeared out of nowhere.
When she was younger, but he was continuously a boy?
I think so. I don't, well, she definitely didn't make it seem like it was a man.
Well, I didn't think it was a man, but I kind of assumed that he was at least like...
in his teens?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think also when I think groom, I think more adult than a young boy. So when she was just like, oh, I've seen him before, it's the groom, I'm like, what? I think that's what threw me off, is that the titles here are kind of like...
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really... I will say the age is very weird for me because, like you said, Voss, I keep picturing an old man, but I'm definitely sure he's in his, like, 20s or 30s.
It's the 1800s, and they didn't have, like, a long lifespan.
Yeah.
So it's very lucky if you...
Well, not just that, but Bethany also, oh, he's so good looking, and you wouldn't be saying that if he was an old man. You know what I mean? Like,
and he can also allegedly see the ghosts. So kind of like, why can he see them? Is there a tie between them? It's probably like the reason why he wanted her as the nurse. So yeah, I want that question to be answered sooner.
I think there is a tie between him and the groom, because when she was hearing her, like, his heart rate or his heartbeat, she immediately had that same sensation that she felt when she got close to the boy in the crypt.
Yeah.
So I also feel like there's a lot going on in this book that I'm kind of like, I'm just confused, like why Hoffman was like couldn't, like, almost was about to die, and then as soon as he came into the grounds, he's like, oh, I'm alive.
I feel like he was given when
a period of time.
Yeah, I feel like he was given a task, and they were just like, you are timed. If you don't bring her here, you will be like killed magically.
Yeah.
And then once he like made it there with her, he was just like, all right, I completed my task. My hourglass starts up again.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, is Voss control, or is there another being like beyond Voss that is controlling?
Yeah. No, there's definitely stuff in here that's still like enticing me to continue. I'm not like, oh my god, this book is so boring, but there's nothing that's like, oh my god, it's so interesting.
Yeah. Is he like, I think I'm trying to think if he's part of this like tree, Voss.
I don't know.
Some have kind of like, in some stories, like gods will step into the human realm and take on a persona. I'm trying to think like if that's supposed to be the case here, or if there's just like completely other power in play.
I think there's a completely other power in play. I don't know what that power is, but I think Voss is just pure human who kind of can see ghosts just like she can, because she is also just a regular person who just happens to see ghosts. And I think like that's why he needs her there, because he needs someone else who can also see ghosts to take over that task once he dies from tuberculosis. So that's why he was like, oh, that's why I think maybe that's why he's laughing, because he's like, oh my god, relief, someone can take over. I don't know, that's just like my suspicions right now, but who the heck knows. Like, but it is going pretty fast though, like it's definitely a fast read. All right, we just finished our second sprint. I'm now on page 272.
What, 232?
Okay, so we've a little bit lagging now. But I'm about 2/3, less than 2/3 of the way done. What do you think right now?
I'm honestly confused still, because I'm not picturing Nin as a boy. Like, the way that he speaks, it's strange that she keeps calling him a boy, and I'm just not getting, like, that's not what I'm visualizing.
Have you gone to the part where he said his age?
No.
Okay.
I just know that he is a demigod of sorts. But I'm assuming that he's like mentally older and just takes the form of a young boy. But it's odd, because if the romanticy is between them, it's weird. Like, even though he's intellectually older, assumingly, since I didn't get to that part, so their dynamic is strange.
Yeah, I feel like I know his actual age, so I don't think it's strange, but he also described his like physical appearance at one point, and he's like over 6 feet. Did you get to that part?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I feel like, really, I feel like that was like kind of earlier on when they mentioned. I don't know. Regardless though, like, I don't think he's like a little boy.
Yeah.
I think she just calls him a boy as a way to be like, because he's not a man.
He's not a boy either.
But I feel like he might be like a teenager. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for me, like, I would call them boys.
She's still, I'm assuming, like, visibly she would be older than him then.
Yeah.
Or yeah, visually she'd be older than him.
Yeah.
And that's still strange.
Yeah, that's true. Did you get to the part where where part did you get to? Did you get to the part where she like found out more about his family?
You mean, I got basically to the part where he explained that Voss was trying to summon his father.
Yeah.
And then he's just not skilled in the arts like that, so he ended up getting him instead. And that's how he was trapped. Because if he actually had summoned his father,
okay, so you got to the part where he talked about his family, because that was on page like 2 something, like 210.
I'm like I'm on chapter 17.
Okay.
Where she's questioning like how dangerous her Voss is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really curious to know more about like how did Voss summon him in the first place, and also like why he was summoned, and like who's the poacher outside. Because I feel like, also I don't know who Hoffman is.
The butler?
Yeah, like I think there was a part, did you get to that too, where like he was
talking to the poacher?
No, did you get to the part where like he's not human?
No.
Oh my god, I can't say anything.
You can talk, I don't care.
No, there's a part where she mentions like, oh, I don't think he's human, and then Nin was like, yeah, he's not, he's like partially not, or something. Like he's like not human, but he's not human, if that makes any sense. He's like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like figured that, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't know, I feel like, I don't think I'm loving this book.
Yeah.
But
do you think you're gonna DNF?
No, I don't think I want to DNF, because I feel like I'm still curious enough to continue, but it's very much a 3-star read right now.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't feel like invested too much. I just got to the part where he goes into his backstory, like his story, which I think is kind of interesting, because it talks more about like his mom and dad, and like how they came to be, and like a lot more backstory on like his part, which I think is important. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm like loving it. What would you say is your rating right now?
It's probably a very low 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's also like mine's just like a 3. It's not even a low 3, just a flat 3.
I think I'm enjoying it better than the previous book that we read, because the writing of that one was just kind of like dry and uninteresting and did not have very likable characters. Yeah. I'm neutral about the characters. I'm curious about them, and I think that's why I'm like
more interested.
I'm not just a flat 3. And I think the curiosity is making this book a little bit better for me, because I just didn't care with the last book we read. I was just like, okay, move on, like, get the answer, move on. Like,
okay, I feel like we're the opposite. What do you think about Bethany? I think she's such a funny character.
She's just kind of there. I don't think the story really needs her, to be honest.
I think she's there just to have some sort of like familiarity for her, for the main, yeah. Because otherwise, I think she would just be in this place by herself. But like the thing that's really weird to me is how she's even there in the first place.
Yeah.
Because even Molly was like, "Oh yeah, she won't be there. I've never had a ghost travel so far. That usually is in that same area where they die." So like, where's Bethany's role in all of this? Like, why is she suddenly able to travel there?
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm like, that's weird.
She might be tied to Molly in a way, and like tethered to her in some aspect.
Oh, instead of a place?
Instead of a place, yeah.
Because they were like sister nurses?
Yeah, it could be that.
Possibly, yeah. Okay, so we just finished our third sprint, and I'm now on page 426. So I'm pretty much done with the book.
I'm on 341, but feel free to talk spoilers. I don't care.
Wait, what are your thoughts right now?
It's meh. I don't really care about this romance between them.
Yeah, I would say the romance is not doing it for me. I feel very like ambivalent about it. I will say I just got to the part where you're finding out like everything, like what's going on with Voss, who is Hoffman, like the circumstances that led them to that manor in the first place, and what Kesh is doing there. Like, what's the reasoning behind all of that? A lot of it, all I will say is that it's like a reflection of the past.
Do you feel like these circumstances were predictable?
No. Okay. No. Because there's like stuff that happens that you were not made aware of before. So it's like completely like new things. I was like, huh? I definitely did not suspect some of it. Like Kesh, I'm not surprised by that part. Like that part I felt was very predictable. And like as of right now, it seems to be still heading in that direction. So I will still say it's predictable for now. Maybe things will change once, you know, they confront him. But everything else regarding like Voss, Hoffman, the manor, like all that was, I did not predict that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know, I still think it's a 3-star. Like, it's not amazing. I've definitely read her other books before, like Serious Moonlight, Starry Eyes. I think she's better at writing contemporary, like YA contemporary romances, in my opinion, than this like fantasy romantasy, because I just don't care. Like, I feel like besides that chapter where she goes into detail about like his family and like all the different princes and his sister Mercy, like that's the only like backstory that we get from his side of things. And I feel like for romantasy to be done really well, you need to have more backstory from both sides. So more world building in general. And I feel like right now there's just no, like, we're just thrust into this world where we know that she sees ghosts. We don't know why she sees ghosts, but it's just, it is what it is. And then why can't she see him? Like, that's one thing that's still, like, I still don't have the answer to. So yeah, I feel like it's still a 3-star. Like, nothing has changed.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. All right, we just finished our last sprint for the Prince of Mourning. What are your thoughts?
Solid 3. I think that the ending, I don't know, the epilogue was kind of felt like a cop-out to me, where it was just like, all right, readers, don't be upset, they'll end up together eventually.
Yeah,
you just won't read it.
I hated the ending. Yeah, I thought the ending was terrible. I think that brought it down to 2 stars for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Do you feel like it was rushed? Do you feel like the occurrence of events was just like, what?
No, I just felt like it left a very like unsatisfactory taste for me, because like you said, it's like his epilogue was like, oh, I woke up too late, Molly already died, she's already in like the Nightlands, and I'm just like, bro, what the heck is this? Like, I thought there was gonna be something that you do before this happens. And her ending was just like, oh, like, I'm gonna, you know, figure some stuff out, and I'm now like
now
in this
the lady of the manor.
now the lady of the manor, and I brought Hoffman, who was doing all this weird stuff to me before, but you know, like I would let him come back. I was like, that's such a, I don't know, I just felt the ending was not great. Like I felt so unsatisfied with the romance, with the end for her, like how she's lady of the manor. I'm just like, that just seems, and then now she's not even a nurse, you know what I mean? Like she worked so hard to get to be a nurse.
They even wrote Molly completed her required 1 year training.
Exactly. And then she doesn't even end up being a nurse. And I was like, I thought the whole point was how she was like, she was born to be a nurse. Like they kept saying all these things in the beginning, and I was just like, what the heck? Like now she's gonna be lady of the manor with all this money because the other lady was supposed to take her. I forget her name already. I was so satisfied. I think it's a 2-star read for it. But what did you think about the whole like the Voss character and how it wasn't actually Voss? It was not even the cultist guy, it was the wife.
Yeah,
you know?
Like I was surprised, but then as she was like going into it, I was like, oh yeah, not surprised, because of the times like she would get nothing.
Yeah.
And I guess I was also unsatisfied with her backstory, because I was just like, she's been stealing lives with this guy for what, 2 centuries?
Yeah.
And like how much, like, when did your hatred for him like really start? I just feel I guess it was just for when she made the bargain with Kesh. I thought the God of Chaos was going to have like an actual appearance. Yeah. But he didn't, so I'm like, what are the consequences for him?
No, the ending was just so vague. Like, oh, we had to bring him back. Kesh broke all these rules. We had to bring him back to the Nightland so he'd be punished as my father sees fit. They don't even talk about how he was punished.
I'm like unsure of where the lore is stemming from. Like, it kind of feels like a mix of things, because they mentioned Greek mythology, and now Valkyries are involved, and that's Norse. They're in America, like New America, but they're still in America.
Right.
Like, if she's Irish, she would believe more into Celtic gods. So I feel like the research could have been, maybe not the research per se, but I think that there is very little intention with some of these character roles that didn't feel like great writing to me. Yeah. So maybe it does go down to 2.5.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, I felt like the Lavina, like, I get where she's coming from, but I felt like she was so out of, like, she was a wild card. Yeah. Because she was not mentioned at all for, like, most of the book.
I think it was the mirror, the monogrammed mirror from, like, when Molly is exploring, she ran into this monogrammed mirror or some sort of item that had like LV on it, and she was like, oh, like, who is that? It's not Voss, it's not Agnes. And someone was like, oh, that's his old fiance. And then suddenly it was just like, oh yeah, he was married. And so I felt like that was going to come into play, so I did remember like that little
I completely forgot about that part.
But yeah, I still feel like overall it was just kind of like basic.
Did you like the random Agnes like show, like appearance?
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. Like,
she was there just to tell them what this ballroom was. That was it.
She's still living in the house.
Yeah.
When she's lady of the manor. Like, do any of these ghosts like move on? Is that part of the story as well? Like, are these ghosts just like permanently walking the earth, or do they get something resolved and then move on to whatever?
Yeah,
like Bethany, I guess, is still there. Agnes is just going to stay in the greenhouse, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like this book had so many like unanswered questions regarding a lot of the backstory regarding like Agnes, this Voss, like his, like, you know, his actual soul, and like Bethany, why was she able to still go to this place without, like, I don't understand that part. The end too, when Nin was like, oh yeah, Lady of the Undead, I was like, wait, like, where did that come in?
I'm assuming that it's related to her seeing ghosts, but ghosts
but it's her related to seeing like the princes.
Wow.
Because he was like, no one has ever been able to see me.
But they're not undead.
Yeah, but no,
gods.
They're gods. But
so,
I think like
again, like the vocabulary of this book is not great because like ghosts aren't even undead. Like undead is like zombies.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I will say this, at the end of the day, 2-star read for me. I'm very disappointed with this one. I think she's better off with the YA contemporary romances. I think they were a lot cuter and they didn't have all these, they made more sense. They didn't follow like a fantasy lore type of situation where you have to answer these questions and give backstories. It's very much set in the contemporary world, so you don't have to wonder all these like unanswered things for the most part. All right, so I'm ending this video now that I am back home. Unfortunately, as you saw, we didn't really like the ending or the book for the most part, and I'm hoping that the next book will be a lot better. But as of right now, that's it for this video. As always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really help out my channel. And if you like to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as hit the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.